All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the We Book It podcast. I am your host, Virgil. Thanks so much for tuning in and for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every last one of you that have tuned in and stayed with your boys. Hey, if you haven't already checked it out, go back and watch two things. Go watch part 1 and part 2 of my interview with Emily Saxton from this year's Indie Corner interviews that we did. So each month we're going to be interviewing different indie wrestlers. We're going to spotlight indie wrestlers all across the country, maybe even all around the globe. I'm going to try to connect with as many indie wrestlers as I possibly can. If you are an indie wrestler in indie promotions right now, I would love to have a conversation with you. You can message me at godinme.mj@gmail.com. Would love to get the word out. Love to interview as many indie wrestlers as possible. Now, with that being said, we also move forward towards New Year's Evil for NXT, which is next week. So we had a packed show tonight. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe to this episode and this channel. We're going to have Joe Hendry holding a special concert, Javon Evans and Ricky Saints. We're going to have Ethan Page and Moose, and we're going to have JC Jane and Ren Sinclair. A lot of stuff going on, so a good time. So first and foremost, the final NXT opened up with Moose making his entrance for his North American Championship match against Ethan Page. All Ego decided to get an early advantage by attacking Moose during the official introductions. It looked like Moose might turn things around quickly, but a collision with the steel steps put his momentum straight to a stop. When we returned from a break, Moose was favoring his left arm, but still beginning to make a comeback. All Ego kept finding ways to counter his offense, so it never felt like the challenger had control for very long. Despite a good effort from Moose, the Page emerged victorious in the end. This was a solid 15-minute match, but it was a little surprising to see this open the show instead of closing it. As usual, Ethan Page has been carrying NXT. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. You can talk about Javon Evans. You can talk about Ricky Saints. You can talk about all the talent that you want to. Ethan Page, to me, is the closest to what a WWE superstar is in today's age as The Miz. I mean, like I said, he just has it all. He's like a better version of The Miz because he's funnier and he can also wrestle better. But Ethan Page is really, really good. Would like to see these two go at it again, and I wouldn't mind Moose getting a shot at being in the Royal Rumble either. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna fly him all the way out to Saudi. But I would like to see Moose be a part of the I would like to see Moose be a part of the main roster Royal Rumble. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. Next up, Izzy Dame came to the ring alone to call out Tatum Paxley because Sean Spears and Ego Vance are too afraid of what Paxley will do. Dame called Paxley a coward and says she can't be fixed. The crowd chanted for Tatum until her music hit and she came out to respond. Paxley says she doesn't need friends like Dame. She needs friends who have been with her since the start of like the NXT universe. Paxley said they will have another match next week before taking Izzy down with their finisher. This was a decent segment to build up their match for NXT New Year's Evil next week. It's going to be an exciting show. Hope you guys all will tune in and watch. Dame has gotten very comfortable on the microphone, and it wouldn't be surprised to see her called up to the main roster faster than usual. I'm telling you guys, she has skyrocketed in her time in NXT, and Izzy Dame is really starting to find her way. I don't know if they have room for her on the main roster right now with what they have going on. I don't know if there's a spot for her, but I mean, like I said, I'm okay with her spending a little bit more time at NXT and continuing to hone her craft. After this segment, the Tag Team of the Year award was given to Zarya and Sol Ruka. Then next up after that, we have JC Jane versus Ren Sinclair. So Sinclair got a chance to get her hands on the NXT Women's Champ this week. But unfortunately for her, Jane's title was not on the line. This was just prep before Jane faces Kendall Gray next week at NXT New Year's Evil. Jane was able to take control almost immediately and punish Sinclair in the corner with some stomps to the face. Throughout this match, Sinclair was fighting to gain some traction, only for Jane to stop her in her tracks. It was a dominant performance from the champion, which is something we don't see enough in her matches. I like this, though. This ended up being fun bout with a quick pace. Sinclair played a good underdog, but sadly for her, she wasn't able to pull out the upset. Jane was able to hit the rolling encore for the pin and the win with surprisingly little help from her cohorts. So again, JC Jane defeats Ren Sinclair in this match, looks strong in doing it. She's a damn NXT Women's Champion. She needs to look strong. She needs to look stronger than what she's been doing. I understand that she's a heel. I understand that they want her to have heel tendencies and do heel things. However, I would like her to be able to to be able to have some, some kind of success where she doesn't have to always cheat. So this was a good match to see. Next up, we have Joe Hendry's live in concert on NXT. His last concert was cut short by The Miz, so Hendry was hoping he might be able to finish a full song when he held another concert on this week's show. He called some of his biggest moments from 2025, and he said he has written a song to wrap up this amazing year. What's odd is Tony D'Angelo could be seen standing at the top of the stands as Hendry sang, but it wasn't supposed to be too obvious that he was there, so the announcers never mentioned it until the end of the segment. The lights went out, Dark State showed up to attack Hendry in a 4-on-1 beatdown. This wasn't a bad segment, but it felt rushed. The funniest, best part of this whole segment is Booker T singing Joe Hendry's entrance music, because I'm telling y'all, if you haven't watched it, Joe Hendry, it's the funniest thing ever. You have to go back and watch Booker T sing Joe Hendry's music every week. For some reason, he likes him now, because before he didn't like him, but now he likes him, and it's the funniest thing ever. Next up, we'll get Tavion Heights versus Lexis King. The finals of the men's speed tournament took place this week, with Heights and King fighting over the title shot against Jasper Troy. As soon as the match started, Heights grabbed King and hit a belly-to-belly suplex to win the match in a matter of seconds. We're not going to provide a typical grade for this match because there's no fair way to judge a squash, but this made Heights look great, and I am excited to see what he is going to do when he gets a chance at the Speed Championship. After this, we had OTM versus Swipe Right. After making Lucien Price and Bronco Nima mad during a backstage segment last week, Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes found themselves across the ring from them on Tuesday. Predictably, OTM absolutely dominated their much smaller opponents right out of the gate. This was like watching two adults beat up two children. This is how big the size difference was. Baylor and Smokes were able to take control with some dirty tactics, but it didn't last very long. The Powerhouses quickly regained the upper hand and continued destroying both men and Jackson Drake when he tried to interfere. OTM scored a quick but energetic win with the double team spine buster spot. This wasn't much of a match, but it made OTM look better than they have in a while. OTM has so much potential, but WWE hasn't done enough to make them feel like the dominant force that they should. They remind me a lot of God Rest John Huber's soul. They remind me a lot of the Bludgeon Brothers, just two big, over dominant guys that just look like they could kill any team that they go up against. And they absolutely should be that way. Next up, we have our main event, everybody. We have Javon Evans versus Ricky Saints. Former friends stepped into the ring to do battle in the final NXT match of 2025 when Evans faced Saints. Evans went after Saints as soon as he got to the ring, but the former NXT champion quickly turned things around and made it an even fight. When Saints began focusing on his opponent's legs to ground the high flyer, he seemed to find his groove. It took until after the commercial break for the young OG to begin building a head of steam. Saints began to grow frustrated after failing to put Evans away with a tornado DDT. These two worked together to put on a fun and energetic main event. The ref was taken out when Evans accidentally hit him with a springboard cutter. So Saints took advantage of the situation, hit him with a low blow, and a new ref arrived to count for the pin for Saints just after he hit his finisher. And 1, 2, 3, Ricky Saints gets the win. Ricky Saints gets the final win on NXT for the year of 2025, a year that has been filled with so much for Ricky Saints. Could not be happier for that guy. Ruka was announced as the winner of the female superstar of the year. Saints was a good babyface, but seems so much better suited at being a heel. He is so great at being smarmy. Um, and again, this was just another good opportunity for Javon Evans. They just keep coming. Expect to see the young OG in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble too. I assume he will have a spot in the Royal Rumble match. All right. This is the final NXT of 2025. It was a little bit of a mixed bag, but all in all, I'm going to give it a B+. Shawn Michaels once again did his thing, providing us with great television, something that most wrestling shows these days can't give you. Wall-to-wall great television from start to finish. But hey, listen, it's not just about what I think, it's about what you think. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe, as well as let your comments be heard below. This has been Who's Next with NXT, presented by the We Book It podcast. I'm your host, Virgil. Until next time, keep those booking pencils sharp. Keep on booking.